Hello and welcome back. I'm Mike.
And this is Aiden.
And we have a deck profile for you today. So we did an unboxing last week. We got 2 more unboxings coming up. But today, deck profile. So what we got?
Amazon S's.
So something a little different.
It is. This is the first deck we've done since Zombies, I think.
Oh my God, was that?
It's been a long time. I haven't had a chance to play this game much, in all honesty.
It's been a while.
But, yeah, you might think why Amazon S's, but I guess I used to use them on Duel Links, and I had a lot of the cards already. They were budget. I don't get a chance to play the game as much as I'd like to, so yeah, it was a nice sort of fun build to run, and I'd say it's quite different to other builds I've seen, but obviously I'll let you guys be the judge of that.
I imagine it's helped the Speed Jewels having a few reprints of some cards might help a
Sort
little
of,
bit.
Yeah, and that definitely did help in some of them. So starting off, I run 2 queens. One is Japanese, obviously.
You can't use that.
I had to do it. I like it in super rare. Sure, this one, yeah. So Amazon S Queen is really cool. If you don't want this card at 3 because it's really bad if you keep drawing multiple copies of this, but it's like your key boss monster. It protects your Amazon S's from being destroyed by battle. It's not like a trigger effect either, so like obviously unless they sort of hard negate this, like it can be hard to get over sometimes. I've stunned quite a few players with this in duels. Yeah, it's pretty fun. 2 is the right number.
Okay. I have absolutely no idea about this, so I'm literally looking at the same time here.
You played against it?
Yeah, it doesn't mean I was listening to what you were doing. I was
okay,
making
never
sure
mind.
how I can try and beat you.
So 3 Princess. This is, of course, you would not run this any lower than 3. She is like I wouldn't say main boss monster because that's your queen, but Princess is treated as queen when she's on the field or in the graveyard, which helps with certain cards and effects. But she basically starts with all your plays. You summon her when she's normal or special summon. You can search your deck for any Amazon S spell or trap card, which means you can search Call, which then gets you any Amazon S card. So technically she says any Amazon S card. So yeah, really, really good with the archetype.
It's always useful.
I saw some deck before run this at 2. I was like, okay, I know people are right with their ratios, but I'm like, no, please, this hurts. Run it at 3. 3 sort of, you're going to hate me, Japanese one in the middle again.
I was about to say it's Judas Saga, but it's not, is it? That's like...
No, it's got like...
What do they call it? 20th anniversary collection?
One super rare, one Japanese parallel rare, and then you got the ultra rare. I was like, I like to mix and match.
God.
Yeah, so... She is like really, really old school, this card. Like, I don't even know when Amazon S came about, and they were like early 2000s. Like, I remember using this card in school, and it was really hard to get over back then because like they take all the battle damage instead of you. So you can set up like a board with her and queen, and then you can like use your Amazon S Call, attack all the monsters, and it's bonus if you've got onslaught because you banish them after the damage step. So not only will they take all the battle damage, but they'll lose all their monsters unless they can stop it. So really, really cool. I was running it at 2, but I was trying 2 swordswoman and 1 queen. Not queen. I forgot the name. Sage, but Sage wasn't working out for me. I much preferred this one. And then rounding off the monsters, you might think it's really low monster count, but 1 baby tiger and 1 glow up bulb. So obviously the glow up bulb is he's in there for the Naturia beast play. So even though the aim of the deck isn't to special summon all that much, always having access to Naturia beast sort of early to late game can sort of shut the opponent down, especially if you broke their board with like onslaught and then you pop Naturia beast. They can be pretty devastating. And then the 1 baby tiger.
Tiger.
I was running the normal tiger. I didn't like this card because it was like you can only control 1 Amazon S tiger. So I was like, well, I don't want to run the 2 because they count as the same name. But this, like, it gains attack for each Amazon S card in your graveyard. Not that you care about that, but its main effect is when an Amazon S is normal or special summoned, you can special summon this card from your hand or graveyard. So the aim of this deck or the build I've made isn't to link spam, which is what he's used for. Like, people will run like 2 to 3 copies of him, which I guess you could, but he just becomes too much of a dead card in all honesty. But he has his utilities in the deck with how I like to play it. So yeah, he's a cool one of. And that rounds off the monsters. There's only like
it's not
10,
very many.
10 monsters. Yeah. Well, the thing I found with Amazon S, they're not a very strong archetype, so you want to use what their best cards. Like, don't just make a pure deck for the sake of just shoving random cards in. And that's what I chose to go with. Spell cards, no questions about this one. 3 Amazon S call. It's a quick play spell. You can search your deck for any Amazon S card, so this is what I was getting at with Princess. She searches this, which then searches anything else, so you've got a lot of search power here. Not only that, you can also banish this card from your graveyard. You can target one Amazon S monster, and that monster can attack every monster your opponent controls once, so they get like a ultimate conductor effect in there. And as I said, if you've got Onslaught with this, you banish all their monsters as well, so definitely a good 3 of.
Pretty tasty, that.
2 Village. Village is really cool. So it's your field spell. It's not all that great. I mean, the extra 200 attack isn't that helpful, but you don't really care about the 200 attack. It's maintaining the board presence. So when your Amazon S is destroyed by battle card effect, sent to the graveyard, you can summon one with equal level or less from your deck. So if you lose a queen, you can go into anything. If you lose swordswoman, you can go into another swordswoman, or swordswoman into a princess. So the idea is, with running so little monsters, you constantly want to keep monster presence on the board, because that is your only win condition, because we're not relying on the extra deck. The last of the Amazon S spell cards, Amazon S Spellcaster. I recently put this in over, what was the card? Fighting Spirit. But I realised it wasn't an OTK deck, so Fighting Spirit wasn't all that great considering my targets that I would use it for. But this is really great because you can target one Amazon S monster and one face-up monster they control and switch the original attacks of them until the end of this turn. So if you don't open, or say you go second and you're playing a turn behind with Onslaught, so you need to set it before you can banish anything they've got anyway. So you can use this, if you say got Princess, summon Princess, search this, activate it, target their highest attack monster, give them your attack, and then you just attack. If you've got Call in the graveyard, banish it, and then attack every monster they control once. So it just gives you like options sort of mid to late game. And this is where it'll probably differ to a lot of other people.
Okay.
I have not seen a single person run Demise. So the way I was building the deck was basically to concentrate on turboing out Princess, getting the Onslaught on the board, getting the Queen on the board, and then just trying to sort of win the grind game if I don't sort of punish them with like Onslaught and banish all their monsters. So this can conflict with certain things like Princess if you're trying to special summon from the deck, but the way I like to play it, it's not really hindered me all that much. And worst case, if you draw like Baby Tiger or Bulb off of this, and they go to the graveyard in the end phase, you don't really mind because they want to be in the graveyard anyway. So yeah, 3 Guarded Demise, 2 Pot of Duality. Nothing more on this. It's free consistency. You don't rely on your special summoning, so obviously excavate the top 3 cards, pick one. Normally you want to set up your combos with this, and then make your board sort of, I wouldn't say unbreakable because it's quite easy to break, but obviously you can punish if you set up with the right cards. So 1 Reinforcement of the Army, 1 Polymerization, 1 Foolish Burial, 1 Scapegoat. So Reinforcement of the Army, probably don't need to say anything else on this. It searches your deck for Princess or Amazon S Swordswoman, sort of free searches. Polymerization, you want this just to make Queen, not Queen, Empress. Empress, in all honesty, is not that great of a fusion that I would warrant building the deck around her, which is why I chose the Demise build instead. It's kind of like a niche sort of card. If it comes up and you can do it, it's pretty good because she floats, so she's cool to have.
Giving you options, basically.
It gives you options. Foolish Burial, you use this to send either Tiger or normally Glow Up Bulb, but sometimes I've sent like Queen and then just used Willpower to special summon back and then gone for game. Scapegoat, I use this as a defensive card, so if I'm on the back foot, buys me some time with obviously the defense, or on the rare occasions I will use it to link summon my Saryuja, because he's the main one I use because of the extra draw power and the attack boost as well. So yeah, pretty standard one-offs. Rounding off the spells, 2 Cold by the Grave, because
Because called by the grave.
Yeah, nobody likes hand traps. What I was finding from testing a bit is it doesn't lose the hand traps automatically. Like, I've played through Ashes, I've played through Ghost Ogres as well, but I was running it at 3, but it came up too much when I didn't have other combo pieces in hand, so running it at 2 just felt like the right amount. Rounds off the spells, so it's quite a heavy trap lineup.
Quite a lot.
Of course, 3 Amazoness Onslaught. This is the next best card in your deck alongside Princess. So it's pretty busted, this card. So during the battle phase, you can special summon an Amazoness monster in your hand. It gains 500 attack till the end of the turn. So like, even if you use Demise, and then you draw into like a willpower, and then you've got like a queen in hand and it's sent to the graveyard, you special summon it back, or you can use like Demise and then Amazoness Call, set it, and then on their turn activate the call to add queen to your hand, so it misses the Demise sort of downfall, and then you can special summon it. And then obviously any monster that your Amazoness battles is banished after damage calculation. And then not only that, if this card is destroyed in the spell and trap zone, you can special summon one Amazoness monster from your graveyard. So it's just like, let's just whack 3 effects into one. Why not? 2 Amazoness willpower. So this is your Call the Haunted for Amazon. So the downside is the monster has to attack, but that's not really a downside in the deck because of what you're trying to do. And obviously it's searchable off Princess and Call, because I was running Monster Reborn. It's like 1 willpower, 1 Reborn, but the Reborn wasn't coming up as much as I wanted the extra willpower when I needed to search it. So as I said, with this deck, keeping board presence is important. So that's why I decided to run 2 Heavy Storm Dusters. So there's still quite a lot of back row heavy decks out there. Arguably, I could have run Sage because she does destroy spell and traps. I did test with Sage. I tested numerous builds, but Sage just wasn't coming up as much as I thought she would. It's not one you wouldn't go for Sage over Swordswoman, I found. So I decided with the Demise build, I just wanted to run Heavy Storm Duster because we're playing on the opponent's turn a lot of the time anyway. So skipping your battle phase when you activate this is not a downside, because you'll wait normally until the end phase, pop this, and then you sort of have free reign to go off on your turn. And I hope people don't hate me. These are proxies. But yeah, unfortunately, they're pretty good proxies. I brought them online. So I am awaiting dual power, as I'm sure everyone is, to get these sort of cheaper than they are right now, unfortunately.
Let's hope anyway.
I'm hoping. But with this deck, so I found back row wasn't really affecting me that much, so I want to make sure my Princess gets her searches off, or my Queen stays on the board. And a lot of the times, these other decks that can build up like multiple monsters on the board in one turn, they'll try to shut down the monsters, so whether it's their effects or just straight up remove them from the field. So this is good because it buys time, and not only that, this can be used, it's essentially your hand trap. So because I don't run any in the deck, if I go second, this is at least something that I can answer back with. And if you pop it at the right time on the right card, you can sort of stun them for a turn, which is pretty good. So yeah, I didn't like using proxies myself, unfortunately, but I can't pay the prices that these cards are. And then the last of the trap lineup is, of course, the 2 strikes and the 1 warning. Again, you can negate summons, monster effects with this, which is what we really want to be shutting down on the opponent's turn. And then their summons as well, so that you can sort of get rid of anything that you might not want to deal with there and then. So yeah, strikes warnings are pretty common. They're 2-1 ratio. So that was the main deck. That was 40 cards, of course, never go over. Extra deck, this really, honestly, is not important at all. So even though we only run 1 polymerization, so our targets are Pet Liger, so he's okay. He can sort of, well, I say that, I don't really go into this card at all, but it came up once, and for my liking, if it comes up once, then it stays in the extra deck. But yeah, he's okay. He's nothing to shout home about. Empress, she's definitely the one that you want to go into. As I said, she protects all your Amazoness cards from being destroyed by card effects, which is cool because, like, I've had Empress on the board, I've used Willpower on Princess, then I've attacked with Princess, used her effect to send Willpower from field to graveyard to special summon an Amazoness monster from my deck. So normally Willpower is gone, so Princess should be destroyed, but she protects them, so you sort of get to get rid of Willpower for free. And when she's destroyed or leaves the field due to any reason, you can special summon a queen from your hand deck or graveyard. So if Princess is already in the graveyard, you can special summon her straight back and then probably get a search for the turn. And then the one boss monster link, I don't use Borrow Load, I don't use Borrow Sword, I don't use any of the big ones, mainly because I don't have them, but if I did, I still think I would use Skuldred. He's always been one of my favourites since links were introduced. His effects are not that hard to get off. He gives you free draw power, free consistency when you get him out, and obviously he can boost your monster's attacks as well, so yeah, I would always run Skuldred over the others. Decode Talker, everyone knows what Decode does. In all honesty, I never go into this card. I don't think I have at all, but I put him in there because with his effect there are times where it could come up, so I'd just rather have it just in case. Two Mrs. Radiant. So this is probably the link that you go into more often than not. So this is why it's good to have Baby Tiger, because if you do get board presence and board control, you summon your Princess, you go off with your plays, you manage to get Tiger out. It's another extra power boost, and then when she's destroyed, you get to search Princess from your graveyard, ideally back to your hand. So yeah, really good. Link Rebo is only there for the Scapegoat play, so I use it as one of the tokens as an extra target or a name for Skuldred. Naturi Beast, so as I said, this is what we use the glow up bulb for. If Demise doesn't come up, or you can sort of, if you do draw Demise and then you have an option to go for Naturia Beast, you'd normally evaluate your hand whether it's worth going into Nat Beast turn 1 or just setting up a board with your traps and just going for the Amazoness plays. But whether you do this early or late game, it can still be pretty devastating. These, in all honesty, like, are a lot of thrown in
staples as such.
Yeah. So Exciting Knight, Tornado Dragon, Castell, Gagaga Cowboy, and the Utopia package. So these are the rank 4s. Exciting Knight can basically blow up the enemy's board during either turn. So it came at once, and as I said, it's enough for me if it comes at once. Tornado Dragon, he's cool because he's basically like an MST on the opponent's turn, just by detaching a material. So I ended up winning against a Zombie World deck just because whether they use Necro or Banshee to get their Zombie World back in the field, I'd just chain this and then just destroy it. Castell, everyone knows what Castell does. He can bounce back problematic monsters. Gagaga Cowboy if you want to go for game and you need that extra damage. And then Utopia, because Utopia I think has always been like a staple, hasn't he? Like of rank 4s. Yeah, when you ever need that extra power. And then the last one is Phantom Knight Breaksword. So you make this one with your 2 princesses. Not that you'd normally sacrifice a board of princesses to go into this, but it did come up before where I would destroy my own Onslaught and a card they've got. Then I would get a search off Onslaught and then sort of go off from there. So yeah, pretty cool. And then my 4 lovely Scapegoat tokens.
Oh, you got all 4 of them?
I did.
Oh.
I was like, I can't just run like random tokens. It can't be done. I was like, no. But yeah, that's the deck. It's really fun. I played around with a lot of different builds. I used Isolde. I tried the Isolde with the Bamboo engine. I tried the Amazoness Spy, going for more of a link spam deck, but I found that there's so many decks out there that can link spam and sort of lock you down a lot easier than this can do. I tried to play to the strengths of basically what I learned from Duel Links is get Princess out, get Onslaught, and then just try to banish everything they've got. So yeah, that's why I decided to go with the Demise build.
Cool, there we go. So once again, something different.
Yeah.
Everyone's talking about Southern Grace, we're like, hey, Amazoness.
Yeah, I think I played Salmon Great on the YuGiOh. I didn't have much experience playing them, sadly, yet, because they're still pretty new, but I did manage to win those games quite convincingly, so something, I guess. It's competitive for what it is.
Yeah. Cool. Well, there we are. Thank you very much for that. That's very useful, and I'm gonna be upset when I face it again in the future, I'm sure. Yeah, come back soon for more unboxings, because there's gonna be plenty of that coming up soon. We got. My brain won't work right now.
We've got
Infinity
stuff.
Chasers. Is that it? Infinity Chasers?
Or is it Door Power the next?
No, Dual Powers next month. We got Infinity Chasers next week, and then the week after we've got the Speed Duel Booster Pack Arena Lost Souls.
Ah, right.
And then
Ah,
Dual
yes.
Power.
Ah, yeah. Forgot about that one.
Yes. Don't forget the Speed Duels.
I know.
Especially since they've announced another
Another
booster
set as well.
box.
Yeah.
But there we are. If you haven't already, please do like and subscribe, because it means a lot to us. If we get those, people can see us, and then more videos for you. Yay. But until those unboxing videos come up soon, it is a goodbye from me.
And peace out from me, guys.
See ya.